green.
Well, the VIX is still pretty strong here, and suddenly we're losing a little more air with the markets, but we are off the lows nonetheless. As the second quarter gets underway for reporting, what are you expecting first quarter reporting, second quarter stocks from the markets? Let's take a look at this chart, which dates back to 1997. Stick with us here. These sharp rises and falls would make any investor skittish, especially when it appears, especially when you look at that chart, we could be due for a huge drop, but that's not the only perspective. Flip it over. Here's a longer-term chart that paints a completely different picture. So should investors be expecting a major downturn or just the opposite? Let's ask Eric Marshall, Hodges Funds portfolio manager. He has beaten the market over the past 3 years consistently. Very nice job on your fund, and it's a small cap fund, but a lot of the companies are pretty big. I mean, more than 17 billion in market cap. Good to have you. What do you see in the near future? I'm talking the next 6 months. A precipitous drop from the first chart, similar, or it's not going to be that bad?
Well, we wouldn't be surprised to see some nervousness come back into the market and get a little bit more volatility here. And we think this will be a year where not all boats will just be lifted with the tide, but really individual stock selection will play a more and more important role. And we think investors are really going to have to focus in on what's going on in the individual companies that they're invested in. At the Hodges Funds, we think of ourselves almost like private equity investors in the public market. So, focus on what you own, what the relative valuations are. The sell-off that we've seen here in the last few days has really hit those high-flying, high-beta stocks where valuations probably got a little stretched. It's actually a healthy sign to see a little bit of pullback in the market.
Of course. Let me show our one-year picture of your fund. You are up for the Hodges Small Cap HDPSX year over year, up 32% compared to the S&P, which is up 22%. This is always a pleasure to have somebody who not only has matched the market, but beaten it, I would say, by a long shot. So congratulations. And say, for example, one of the stocks that you've used to do that. The last time you were here, which was back in November, I believe, November 25th, you picked Zale Corporation. Since then, that stock has jumped. Had people listened to you, they would have made 47% on their money. It was bought by Signet. It's done very well. You also like Micron Technology. Today, it's getting hammered, but it's done well, too, up 13% since you picked it. Let's walk through what the number one characteristic you look for when picking a Micron or picking a Zale.
Right. Well, a couple things that we like to look for. We like to look for companies that have very good secular growth stories that can do well regardless of what's going on in the broader economy. We also like to find companies that are exhibiting pricing power and have high barriers to entry, good management teams, and earnings that are improving. We don't own Micron in our small cap fund, but we do own it in the Hodges Fund, which is a multi-cap fund.
All right. People have a second chance here if they missed out the first time. We put up your picks right now. You like Eagle Materials, you like Dixie Group, and you like a company called Viewpoint Financial. As we put these names up, I want people to write them down. We're going to have Eric back. It's been a breaking news kind of day, but these are the names Eric believes in. He has been a winner, folks, over the past 3 years and more in this fund. So congratulations. Thanks for joining us, Eric.
Thank you.
Eric Marshall, Hodges Funds portfolio manager. We've got 5 minutes before